What is up, everybody? Welcome back to what will hopefully be the last time my Tacoma's in the shop this summer. Hopefully we get it done today, tomorrow, whenever that may be, and we're out wheeling, we're camping, we're road tripping, we're doing all that stuff, and we are done being here. After the last video working on the truck, we took it out. The brakes worked a lot better. There's a couple things that we wanted to handle on that amongst other things, so we figured we'd bring it back in, just get it taken care of so we can get out in the dirt. The first thing we went ahead and did was add a proportioning valve for the rear brakes. The next order of business to take care of on this truck is something that we've been putting off a little bit longer than we should have, but hey, it's a Toyota. They don't really care that much. But if this thing was a Jeep, we'd be screwed by now. It's time to put an oil change in this thing. This oil's probably been in it since I got the truck built. Maybe about 5,000-6,000 miles, probably just some cheap dinosaur oil, so it's well overdue. Which segues us into our partner on today's video. We want to welcome Clovis Lubricants to our team. Mark over there is an independent AMSOIL dealer, and he's gotten us set up with a lot of stuff that you'll be seeing later in this video. The first and most important thing is some oil, a fresh AMSOIL synthetic filter. So we're going to be getting that swapped in right now, which will be a good time for me to tell you about all the benefits of running their stuff. But first, did you know that Toyota has a little nipple at the bottom of this drain pan for this oil filter, and you can hook a hose to it and watch your pitch black dirty oil come out of the bottom, as opposed to letting oil drip and make a mess all over your engine? Anyways, AMSOIL's been around since 1968, and by 1972 they set the standard by becoming the first company in the world to develop a synthetic motor oil that met the service requirements of the American Petroleum Institute. They develop and test their products on race applications, industrial applications, everyday cars and trucks, all the way to the giant wind turbines you see on the side of the highway. All their products are backed by public test results, and their website has data sheets for everything they sell. So if you're looking to get your hands on any type of AMSOIL product, from engine oil to brake cleaner to glass cleaner, go ahead and click on the link in the description and sign yourself up as a preferred customer to save an average of 20% on everything they sell. I don't know how we did it, boys, but we got all 5.5 quarts in the truck without spilling a drop. No funnel? I've never been that successful, so I'm pretty stoked we got that on camera. So oil changed, proportioning valves in, that's the easy stuff. Now it's time to turn this truck around and handle the stuff that sucks. Now that our bed is off, I can show you what I've been avoiding fixing for a long time. And that is the frame on this truck. You can see there, it's starting to crack. You can see right here, it's starting to crack. And if you look at the top, it's about to meet, which means that we would have a big old failure. So the way I like to fix cracks, and I think a lot of other people do, is I like to just fully cut out the section of the crack to where when you weld it back shut, you are fully filling it in. You're not tacking over a crack, you are just creating a new section of material here. We're going to go ahead and put an aluminum backer on this so that the weld doesn't fall through, and we're going to go ahead and weld it and blend it to about here. From this section here, I wasn't sure how much of it was cracked or how much of it just looked like that because it was paint, so I went ahead and just cleaned everything off, ground it all out, and we'll just run a nice fresh hot weld in there, and hopefully by the time it's done you won't really be able to see what we did. And then over here, from the frame flexing a little bit, there was a little crack here. It didn't really go into this corner of this weld right here, but I thought it would look better if I just welded this, blended it, and re-welded that. We'll do a little plate on the top here, and we're probably going to do a tube that goes from here to somewhere over here to help distribute the load, because if you look at it, the way we had this set up, it runs that load right into here, which is a shear point here, so the frame naturally is just trying to shear off right here. You can see that our truck doesn't have frame plates at all. That's because this was a truck we designed everything on. We didn't have a frame plate designed at the time. This is all built in-house on my plasma table. Everything's corner welded. Nothing's broke here. This was all the R&D truck, right? So we're not worried about it too much. We're gonna beef it up. We're gonna help spread the load a little bit throughout the truck in the rear, and then we can put the bed back on. So that crack's fixed and blended out. You can see where we just put a new weld in there where everything was cut out. And the top is all welded and blended back together. Typically I'd work that out the rest of the way to where you couldn't see it. But I've went and cut this gusset to help spread the load up there. So this will cover it all. There's no real need to take it off. At this point, I'd see taking this down to make it smoother, taking more material away, therefore weakening the frame. So in my opinion, you put this on, you cover it up. Nobody knows what's going on. Everyone thinks you just put a cool plate on your truck. Everybody's happy. Well, I don't know about you guys, but that looks fixed to me. So you can see we re-welded where that piece got cut out. We put a little gusset after we fixed everything. Fixed that little crack right there. We got Nosy Kitty over here. Now I was gonna brace it some more, I was gonna add some more stuff, but I do feel like there's a fine line you have to walk between over stiffening these frames and letting them have a little bit of play in them. And I feel like the more rigid you make this setup, the more you're just gonna be adding stress to different areas. So as far as I'm concerned, it's stronger than it was before. We filled in some of these holes that were in here. I think those played a big part in causing a little weak spot on the chassis. So I'm gonna call this good. We'll obviously keep an eye on it. If it needs more fixing in the future, we'll do more fixing in the future. But for now, I think we're good. While we had the bed off, I also wanted to mount my spare driveline. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while. I usually keep it in the bed of the truck. It ends up rolling around, and it's just one more thing to worry about having to strap down and not lose. So we took care of that today. And that solution is these super little low profile shock reservoir mounts I put in there. And from there, I'm just gonna hose clamp the driveline in. It'll live under the truck. And from the back, you really can't see it. See that mint condition license plate right there. I also took a couple minutes to pull a stock tailgate pad off, do some body work to the tailgate, and install this All-Pro tailgate table. This thing is going to be awesome for summertime as I do all my cooking and food prep on this here tailgate. Thanks, All-Pro. Let's go. Come on. Come on, kitty. Let's go. Whoop, whoop. So the next thing that we're trying to do is put some new upper coilover springs on this thing. We're gonna go a little bit heavier on the rate, and on the driver's side, I was able to get the bolt out for the little pinch collar here, and on this side, this is what I got out. Which means that we get to hopefully drill that out, because if that won't drill out and I can put a new bolt in it, then we gotta pull the whole shock apart, pull the top cap off, drain all the fluid out of it, all this BS to get that collar off. So, wish me luck. Well, I think I got it. I went ahead and got a new little screw, put lots of anti-seize on it, and we're gonna tighten that with a torque wrench because I may have over-tightened it last time and that's why it broke, but I really don't think so. So I think the torque's like 11 foot-pounds, so we gotta pull all this off, all this preload off this spring. We're gonna put some new springs on these shocks, bolt them back together, and hopefully everything is happy. You're good.
Over here.
Get up there. There it is.
Going?
Done deal, Haas.
Checks out.
You are a real Haas, huh?
I guess.
Still got anti-seize on there. Quick visit from the rape van. They better have dog treats on there, huh, kitty? The cool part about this Amsoil stuff is they send you gear oil in these little squeeze bottles, which makes life really easy. In my case, I got all the room in the world. It's not as beneficial as that would normally be, but if you're working under a car somewhere tight where you don't really have a lot of room to get a quart bottle up in there, being able to just put this up here, I mean, wherever you choose, and just squeeze it in is killer. And a trick I like to do when I have these bottles, or whatever these would be called, that have these little nipples where you cut the top off. On one that I know I'm not going to use all of it, I'll just take the nipple off an old bottle. We're able to keep this one. That way it's still sealed and won't go everywhere. Ooh. So yeah, if you need a reason to put a skid plate on your Tacoma, let that be the reason. I love it. So the owner's manual on this truck calls for 75/90. That's what we're going to put in here. This is a situation where these bottles really do come in handy. I obviously wouldn't be able to get an actual quart bottle up there, whereas with this thing, stick that spout in there, hold it in tight, and squeeze. It's actually really convenient. I've been looking to use this stuff for a long time. I'm super glad that the time is finally here. If you're anything like me, you have lost your fill plug by now. Ooh. Psych, just kidding, just joking. Cool, we're ready to put the skid plate back on this thing. I'm really surprised though, I would have expected that thing to take more oil. Am I tripping? I guess not, I guess that much didn't come out of it. Find out if it explodes. And if you've been following along, you know that the next build we're gonna be doing is a first gen Tacoma. We're gonna be using this truck to R&D our kits. I picked this thing up 4-ish months ago. Haven't changed oil on it, haven't really done anything. It's in need of some service. So this thing's gonna be getting a bit of Amsoil engine flush. They say you run this for 10 to 15 minutes and immediately drain the oil after. So while we're getting the rest of my red truck put back together, like the tires, and getting it on the ground, old jet back there, gonna have to bleep that out, dude. Not kid friendly. We're gonna let this thing run, flush itself, and by the time we get the red truck off the rack, we can pull this thing in, do a quick drain and fill with some high mileage Amsoil as well, and we're done. These frames are so thin, dude, it's terrifying. All right, Gunner, what the happened to your bed?
Dude.
What? Hold on, everybody. Look at this side.
That's Dylan.
Is it worse?
Look at this.
Oh my God, this thing used to be so nice. Nah, this side looks good. What's up, Frank? Look at this. Bed's folded.
Look at my hood. Front measure.
What is this? How do you not see a tree that does this to the truck?
It was like hanging like this, and I was looking out to the left at this rock, and next thing I know, I was just like pinched under.
That one's new.
This dude's full of shit. He saw all this stuff happening.
I was there.
Yeah, when I got you through that spot and you went up the hill and we were trying to get through that one spot.
Oh,
Ethan didn't tell me about the tree, and I'm looking, and next thing I know, my truck's pinched under it.
Checks out.
Checks out.
Oh, leaky wheel seal. Look at that. No. Ready?
Ready.
See the blackness? Oh my God.
Looks good. My buddies, and I totally forgot it's his, and then he saw I posted it for sale.
You're like, yes.
I was like, yeah. He's like, oh.
OEM. Should be nice. I also cut these little spacers, 2/4 inch ones, to lower my drive line a little bit more. So I think we guessed on the proportioning valve and it seems pretty good. It barely wants to lock the rears up. So I think we're rocking. I think all that's left is to, I don't know, hit some bumps, see how it feels. I lifted the front like a 1/2 inch. Obviously you saw me change the springs out in the back, so. All right, getting waved by this guy. Oh shit. What do you think, dude? Should we hit the whoops?
Yeah.
All right. Puddle? Oh, it feels so much better. Dude, it's way better. So since we made a couple changes on the spring rates in the back and adjusted the preload front and rear, figured I'll run it a little bit, see how it feels. It's got a ton of air in the tires, so it's not going to be anything crazy smooth. Let's see what it does. It used to buck super bad in the back because usually it'll kick on that little bump that I hit there, and this thing seemed to eat it super well. It seemed to sit super flat, so I'm gonna call that a win. Good old Jet Lawrence in the driver's seat. God wish me luck. We got full coverage, we should be good. I gotta say this video is a success. We fixed a lot of stuff that was messed up on this thing. Couple things I've been ignoring, like that frame that, as you saw, was about to break in half. We ended up servicing a bunch of stuff on the truck. You know, some fresh gear oil in the diff, in the transfer case, fresh motor oil. We're gonna switch everything over to AMSOIL in this thing eventually. So a big thank you to Clovis Lubricants for that. And that's it, boys and girls. Make sure to like, subscribe, talk some shit, tell your grandma, tell your school teacher, your therapist, your girlfriend, your side chick, your ex-girlfriend, all of them. We're trying to get this channel built up. So, have a great day. Ha ha ha!